It's moments like this when I hate Google Maps. What the hell? No, I haven't arrived. This is not my house. Don't give me the "you've arrived" crap. I'm a block away still.
The scariest cursed objects that actually exist. The Hands Resist Him painting, painted by Bill Stoneham, is considered one of the most haunted pieces of art. Every person who has ever owned this painting shares the same story. They claim that once nightfall hits, the figures in the painting would either move or disappear completely. People also claim that even seeing the painting immediately makes them feel sick and weak. If this isn't scary enough, the owner of the first art gallery to ever show the painting, as well as the art critic who reviewed it, both died within 1 year of seeing it.
Creepy Zillow find. Normal house. Normal house. I really like that setup. Ooh, even a media room. What the fuck is this?
This TikToker by the name of Good Guy Dejected posted this video of something staring at him while he was in his bed. I'm gonna roll the clip right now.
I was on TikTok in my room when I heard something. I was hoping this fish didn't move.
Let's get out of here quick.
Scariest videos on the internet, part 7. The video I'm about to show you is audio footage that a serial killer left on the answering machine of one of his victims. This was left by the Night Stalker, a serial killer who murdered at least 10 people in Southern California. Back in the day, police didn't know who he was. So during his reign of terror, he would leave disturbing messages on victims' answering machines. Not only would it taunt police, but it would scare his next victim. Like and follow for more videos like this.
Something was staring at this guy from his window. I'm gonna roll the clip right now.
Things kids have said at bedtime, part 5. This story was told to someone by their coworker. This coworker has a 4-year-old daughter. This daughter always referred to the rattling sound of the water pipes as white wolves, and they always kind of terrified her. One night as the mom was tucking in her daughter, the 4-year-old said, "Mom, the white wolves aren't bad. They're our friends." This mom was obviously extremely excited at this new revelation her daughter had, and she replied, "Yes, the white wolves are protecting us. They are our friends." This is when her daughter spoke again and said something absolutely horrifying. She said, "They're our friends, but not the man who crawls on the floor and stands by my bed." Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more.
What a dastardly way to die. Now, for most of us, getting bitten by a deadly snake is a scary possibility, and it's certainly not a workplace hazard that you would expect to find as a chef. But in southern China, it was a reality for Chef Peng Fang. See, he was bitten by a cobra, but it was a dead cobra. And before you start thinking, what, COVID out of China and now zombie snakes? I have to tell you that this zombie snake story was isolated. See, Chef Peng Fang had chopped off its head, put it aside on the table, and was chopping up its body in preparation for a beautiful soup. But some 20 minutes later, after making his masterpiece soup, he reaches over near the head, bam, bites him. Even police who attended said, what a dastardly way to die.
Railroad Mysteries, Part 1. What if I was to tell you that a train back in the 1900s actually just vanished into thin air? Apparently back in 1911, that's exactly what happened. Let me explain. You see, back in 1911, an Italian rail company offered a free ride on their brand new train. At first, everything was going fine. Everybody was enjoying themselves, their drinks, their hors d'oeuvres. They were really excited about something, though, and that was the fact that they were going to be some of the first people to go through this new tunnel that they just built in the Lombardy Mountains. There's only one problem, though. You see, the train went into the tunnel, but it never came out. After the train disappeared, railroad workers, police, everybody searched the entire tunnel trying to find any traces of the train, but came up empty-handed. It wasn't until a couple weeks later when they found 2 survivors that had actually jumped off the train before it entered the tunnel. One of the survivors describes it as a hum and a fog that actually came up and swallowed the whole train. There's even a theory out there that the train might have even traveled back to 1840s Mexico. Is this just an urban legend, though? Subscribe to find out more.
This hidden restaurant in Texas is actually a haunted old Freemasons temple. Now, if you don't know what the Freemasons are, you can find their symbols all throughout American history. They're a sacred group of people that did rituals and attempted to control the way that the United States and the world is run. Their symbology is even on the dollar bill. So I assume a place like this, Gumbo's Restaurant in Georgetown, Texas, where the Freemasons used to meet to do these secret rituals, would be a place where ghosts might reside. People have reported seeing shadow figures in the building, hearing voices and talking, and experiencing movement and objects moving by themselves while they were in the building. I don't know, I'd probably have to be given the chance to investigate to decide if this is haunted or not, but it's sure a creepy looking building. And I had to take the audio out here, so I'm just going to talk over this clip of me smiling, but if you want to watch real scary ghost hunting, go to my YouTube channel, The Paranormal Files, the link's in my bio. There's a lot to watch.
Did you know that the film Veronica is actually based on a true story? This one really freaks me out. But let's get into it. In November 1992, the police were called to a house in Madrid. They wrote down everything they witnessed, and their report became the first police report in Spain to explicitly mention the paranormal. They wrote in their report that when they arrived at the house, some weird things happened. A dresser door swung open violently, nearly hitting one of the officers. They also witnessed a crucifix being ripped from the wall and a poster being slashed. One of the officers reported that when he went into the bathroom, the temperature plummeted in a way that he had never felt before. They also heard the sounds of people on the balcony, and when they went out to check, there was nobody there. The officers interviewed the family to find out what had been happening, and the family told them a really weird story. 2 years before, their daughter Estefania had been caught playing the Ouija board at school with her friends. The teacher that caught them smashed the glass that they were using as a planchette, and both the teacher and Estefania's friends claimed that they saw smoke rise from the shattered glass and into Estefania's mouth. From that point onwards, Estefania became really unwell. She had violent seizures and fits of rage, and no medical professional was able to pinpoint what was actually wrong with her. Eventually, she sadly passed away, and her death was completely unexplained. After she died, the family began to hear her throughout the house. Objects also went missing and sometimes flew around. They would see shadow people looking in their windows and running up and down their corridor. The most terrifying moment for them was when a picture of Estefania caught fire inside its frame. The picture was damaged, but the frame and the glass were completely unharmed. Eventually, the family had no option but to sell their house and move away. And since they did that, there have been no further reports of haunting in that property, and they went on to tell their story.
But maybe they went there to be treated for whatever they had, and so they ended up dying, and they're stuck there?
Yeah, these 3 people I see, there's more than 3, but these 3 people I see in particular are like zombies. They were put into a comatose state. It doesn't even feel like it was done purposely. It was done like...
Oops.
Oopsie? Yeah. And they were kind of killed at a certain point because they didn't know what to do with them. And so they just kind of were like, well, how do you get rid of how do you get rid of them? Let's kind of solve this. And that's where these three beings are obviously a little pissed, and yet
just a tad,
and still like in that comatose state. But they are conscious enough to know that they are like haunting, like they are there to get even almost. That they're not realizing is that the people that did that to them aren't there anymore. And
so maybe they like to get their hands on Norman Baker. Is that the
probably
okay.
Probably, and they just wander the first floor. I don't know how many floors are here, but they're on the first floor, and they just like if you could see them, they're zombies, and they just like wander, kind of like that would be a creepy visual for people that are seeing.
Yeah.
You would be like, yeah, it's not your traditional ghost or spirit that is floating along enjoying life.
Do you really trust the person next to you? This was Homunculi. Watch the full video, drop a comment, drop a like, and drop a follow, or he may find you. Homunculi are people believed to be experimented by the US government and now are half human, half animal. However, they take demon-like appearances. People say homunculi truly rule our world and we're under their control. My question to you is, what would you do if you found homunculi?